Graham Jason Mathis here, Bleach Report and WrestleRant before Survivor Series coming up this Saturday, November 30th, 6 p.m. on Peacock. We're talking to one of the women's War Games combatants here today, Raquel Rodriguez, back in WWE for the last couple of months. Raquel, how's it going?
It's going really good. I'm really excited about the team that we have stepping into this War Games cage. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I mean, we are a unit. Have you seen us work together? It is
It's a pretty
pretty
dominant
awesome,
unit,
right?
to say the least, yeah.
Yeah. Would you ever see a bunch of bad guys hang out and work like this? Never. This is a once in a lifetime. So I'm feeling very confident going into Vancouver this Saturday.
I mean, it wasn't that case a couple of weeks ago at Crown Jewel, Nia Jax, Tiffany on the other end, but you guys have since put those differences aside, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, we're smart. We're smart business women in a sense. Lots of businesses, sometimes you don't get along with your competition. But then when it is time to work together to defeat other competition, that's when things turn the tables a little bit and change. And I think that's where we're at right now. We're working together to beat a greater enemy, which is going to be in our favor pretty soon, I believe.
That's the only way you got to do it. And then you also have the
Yeah.
experience, too. I mean, a lot of these other women have been in women's War Games, but you have also been in a War Games match as well 4 years ago, NXT. So you're no stranger to the environment. And not only that, not only working with a team, obviously, but you won War Games that year. You pinned the then NXT Women's Champion, Io Sky, who also finds herself on the other side of War Games this year. So just your thoughts on how crazy that is, that not only you find yourself back in War Games, but it's kind of the same situation 4 years later a little bit.
It really is. No, it really is. I thought about that the other day when I saw some old pictures of the War Games that I won when I Tejana bombed Io through a ladder in the
Yep.
middle of the two rings, which was absolutely insane to me, but it almost like inspired me. You know what I mean? I'm like, ooh, this is like kind of the same mix of a team.
Yeah.
We're all bad guys again. Io's on that team. Ooh, and we have Rhea on that team too. Like this is gonna be I don't want to like hint to them that like, hey guys, I know what's gonna happen, but I have a good idea of what they're gonna try and do. So I think like we're coming in very, very prepared. I'm very excited for our team. We communicate, and having Liv, this is Liv's first War Game.
Mhm.
So having her there is very exciting because even though she's new to the War Game style, she's not new to street fights. She's not new to weapons. She's not new to cages. So I know my sister, she's just going to pick it up and she's going to blend right in with the rest of us. And we are just going to dominate. We're just going to dominate.
What kind of tips can you provide for those, including Liv, that haven't been inside War Games? I mean, this is basically a steel cage, but it's two of them. There's a lot going on at once. A lot of people entering at different intervals. As someone who's been in the match before and has won the match before, obviously without giving away your strategy, what tips can you provide to someone like Liv to kind of get used to the environment pretty quickly?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I've kind of told her and kind of coached her on was, Liv, you're a lot smaller than the rest of us.
Hmm.
You're feisty, chiquita pero picosa. She's feisty, but she's little. But I think the biggest tip I could give for her was to not get caught. You know what I mean? We don't need her getting caught by someone and then, I don't know how it could happen, but they trap her in a corner somewhere or they try to put her in a trash can because I'm sure she'll fit into one of those. I put Dakota in one of those not too long ago. So, my biggest thing for her is like, you know, there's five of us, there's five of them. I'm going to keep protecting you no matter what, but I just need you to not get caught. Just don't get
Hmm.
trapped.
And not only having competed inside War Games as well, but like I said, you won for your team that year. That was what kind of kickstarted your success, not only as a tag team with Dakota at that time, but as a single star as well. It was that win over Io that kind of earned you that opportunity at the NXT Women's Championship that you held for a long time. So that was almost kind of like the beginning of your ascent in WWE that took you through NXT to where you are now on the main roster. Is this kind of like a full circle moment for you going into Saturday?
Oh, 100%. 100% it is. At the moment, of course, I'm not going after Liv's title. I would not do that to my sister. I'm
Hmm.
here to help her keep that title as long as possible. And I know Nia is going to take her title back to SmackDown, but it definitely still like fuels my fire to want to win this and to prove something against all of those champions on the other team, ex-champions on the other team. Io, Rhea, Bianca, Bailey, even Naomi too. You know what I mean? I really
Hmm.
just have something to prove against them because I haven't worked Naomi that much, so I feel like she doesn't see me as too big of a threat yet. But this match in War Games is really when we're gonna get a little taste of each other, and I'll show her who the real Raquel is. But I'm very excited. This could open many possibilities for how dominating we could be. I mean, now that we have the new IC title that just got introduced,
Yep.
that's a huge opportunity for anyone who gets the opportunity to wrestle in that tournament and win that title. So I'm just looking forward to us going out there and having a really great showing and then coming home victorious.
And just in general, I mean, you've been back now in WWE since Bad Blood, reuniting with Liv Morgan, the women's world champion, obviously, as you mentioned. How's it been like being back as you were gone for so long, or you were gone initially, left, or came back again now? How's it like being back in the fold and it just kind of so much has changed in such a short period of time in WWE? Just for you in general, how's it been like being back in WWE? And was never coming back ever an option for you, something that was on the table as far as I may not be able to come back due to your health condition and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that crosses someone's mind, as an athlete, or as a wrestler. If you get injured, you get sick, you definitely are put in a position where you're going with appearances, wrestling, TV, all these things, and then all of a sudden it just stops, and time almost feels like it stands still for a second, and you're like, okay, well, I'm here, but what do I do? How do
Mm,
I find my purpose? Is really, I think, the key question that comes into your mind, because we can get very confused and think like, me, for instance, this has been my dream since I was a little girl. I've been watching my dad wrestle. I've been trying to wrestle my cousins. I've been trying to get into this since I was a little girl. And I've been fighting ever since the day I signed that contract to be here. I've been fighting every day to prove myself as a worthy contender, as a worthy WWE superstar for the company. And so for all of that to just get taken away, I almost felt lost, because it was like my identity, my purpose, my whole reason for working hard was just ripped from me. And now I can't work out. I can't strain myself too hard. I can't eat certain things. Um, I don't want to be outside. I don't want people to see me this way, because I don't feel good and I feel
hmm
gross. So yeah, I mean, you definitely have to think like, what if I just don't go back? What am I going to do next?
Yeah.
So I did have those thoughts running through my mind quite a bit, but I'm really, really, really grateful to my sister Liv, who never stopped being there for me throughout any of the days. She messaged me, she checked up on me, even when she was dealing with her arm injury and, having all of the stress of her coming back and her wrestling Rhea and winning the women's title. It was a lot on her plate. And to know that she had all of that going on and still had the time to think about me, to reach out to me, to send me things, it made me feel like I found someone absolutely loyal to me and who's willing to be there for me. And that turned the page in my head. I thought, when I do get healthy, because I know I'm going to get healthy again,
hmm
when I do step back into that ring, that is one person that I'm going to support 110%. And so coming back, there was no question about which side I was going to be on. It was always going to be Liv Morgan's side. And so I'm just so happy to be able to be back, to be in the full swing of things. It's funny because today is like the first time I've done Zoom interviews and I don't know how long, and I
hmm
forgot where to find the link. I was like, oh my God, I forgot how to do this.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's so nice being on the road with my friends again. It's so nice hanging out with them, seeing them, being at work. I love showing up to Raw and SmackDown and just hanging out at TV all day. It's just one of the best things that I think we can do. And so from now on, I've told myself I'm not taking any of these days for granted, any of these opportunities for granted. I know that this can go just as quickly as it comes. I've
hmm
felt it. And I just want to take every day for what it is and be happy and enjoy it and be victorious at it too, because winning while you're doing it is even better.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, obviously, even before we had last seen you, it was inside Elimination Chamber before you had taken the time off for your health condition. And you went in there at the disadvantage, obviously dealing with that in the match, like a warrior getting through. And like everyone, like the match was great. And it was everyone was talking about the performances, everyone involved. But specifically you, Raquel, like the fact that you still went in there, did your thing, came out looking like a champ, dealing with what you were dealing with was pretty amazing. So, like, what's going through your head at that point? And also seeing the, positive reception online afterward and from peers and stuff like that.
Yeah, thank you. No, it was definitely a tough trip. Like I had just returned that Monday night. And so,
Yeah.
I mean, I hadn't worn makeup in months. So I put makeup on that Monday night. I don't know if it was that. It could have been the wrestling or the jumping onto a plane to get to Australia right away. But my face on the plane just blew up. It decided to just get swollen like I had been stung by a million bees.
Yeah.
So the whole time on the plane, I'm popping Benadryls. I'm like, sleep it off. It'll go down. Just sleep. And
Yeah.
finally, when we landed, I woke up and it was not gone. It was still very prominently there. So I did have to go see doctors and get a steroid shot. And I kind of hid out for most of the trip. As much as I wanted to see beautiful Australia and explore, I kind of hid myself in my hotel room because I just was not feeling great. I was
Mhm.
red, I was rashy, it was dry, it was crusty, it was not cool. So finally day came of the show and we were still worried if I was going to get to perform or not. And I told myself, I did not fly all the way to
Yeah.
Australia to not get in that chamber and perform. I'm not going to not do this. So I had to keep telling myself that whole day, I was like, we're gonna do this, no makeup, red. We're gonna go out there, we're gonna perform, and we're gonna do it with bells ringing. We're gonna go
Yeah.
out there like nothing is absolutely wrong, because in my mind, once I step out of that curtain, nothing is wrong. So leading up to that, it was definitely hard, because you see these. It's so hard being a girl, like I hate to be this girl. I've always been a tomboy, but you get so involved in like wanting the looks and the hair and the makeup and
Mm.
the cool eyeshadow to go with your cool outfit. And so I'm having to sit there and I'm like, oh, you guys look so great. You guys look so pretty. I'm just gonna go over here and get distracted so I don't have to deal and watch this. And even going out in front of that many people and not everyone knowing what was going on, I knew there was going to be some backlash, which there was. There was a few people that were like, oh, Raquel's real brave for coming out here with no makeup. She looks like caca and blah, blah, blah. But nobody knew what was going on, which is fine. I just told myself one day my story will get out there. People will
Mm.
know. And hopefully it inspires other people, because it is so hard to have a skin condition, to have an autoimmune disease, and to not want to associate with anyone, to not want to be in public. You wake up and you look at yourself in the mornings and you're like, I don't even know who you are. I don't even recognize what's going on. Are you still Raquel under there?
Hmm.
But it was a really good, I think, what's the word I'm trying to look for? Like a mind shift for me. It opened
Hmm.
my eyes to a lot of things. Like, again, life is quick and things don't last forever. So things can come and things can go, and
Sure.
that's just how it is. And so I just plan on enjoying every minute until then. And so far, since I've been back, it has been so much fun. I absolutely love getting to be with Liv Morgan. We're on the road together. I get to see my friends, part of the makeup team. Judgment Day, being a part of that crew. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like Dominic, Carlito, Finn, JD, they are hilarious. I love getting to be in the clubhouse. I feel like a whole new person. So it's been absolutely amazing since I've been back. And I'm just so glad to be in the full swing of things.
Yeah, and not only just being back, but like doing something so drastically different than what you were doing from the last time that we saw you. Like last time you were on your own, fan favorite, now on the other side of things. For the first time on the main roster, obviously not a role that you're completely unfamiliar with that you were doing in NXT, but being alongside Liv, is something familiar, but being on the other end of things with, kind of being the bodyguard for Liv Morgan, have you just gotten comfortable doing that role again, being the bad guy? Again, something you did for Dakota Kai many years ago. So it's a role that you're familiar with, and I feel like you kind of excel in as well.
Thank you. Yeah, no, honestly, I feel like it's just like second nature. It's like my second nature to just be that girl. And it's funny because my sister, my real sister, and I, we used to joke that when we played basketball, we're 2 years apart. So we played high school basketball together. We did a lot of sports and things together. We
Mhm.
were in high school together. And she was always the pot stirrer. She has a big mouth. She likes to run her little
Yeah.
mouth. And so she would always get trouble that would find her somehow. And it was just my natural instinct as the little big sister to go and help her out and like step in the way and stop the fight if I need to, or finish the fight if I need to.
Mhm.
So it's just a role that I feel like I was naturally born into. And so being able to do that again with Liv, it just feels good. It feels natural, and it's been fun. Like honestly, like I can't say that I've had a more fun time on main roster than I have these past couple months with Liv, these past couple weeks with her. It's just been a really, really great, and I just don't want it to end.
And it's just getting started.
It's
Obviously, you
just
guys have your
getting
it's just getting
started.
started. You guys have your sights set back on the women's tag team titles, obviously, at some point. Women's War Games first, coming up on Saturday. But Raquel, it's great to have you back. Thanks so much for taking the time. Good luck on Saturday, and good luck with everything going forward, as well as you kind of look forward to the tag team titles and maybe the Women's World Championship at some point. But we'll deal with that when we deal with it, I guess.
Hey, there's the IC title. I can go
Of
after
course.
that so that Judgment Day is carrying all the gold. We'll see.
That's true. Don't want to tease any tension. Go for the singles goal first. IC title. We look forward to that. Best of luck on Saturday, Raquel. I appreciate the time.
Thank you. See you
Thank you.
guys on Saturday.